Hello and welcome to Hitching the Trailer. My name is Greg, and joining me as always, the mother of my Garbage Pail kids, Nutty Nicole.
That was a good one. Hiya.
Today, we're doing a what did we name it?
A Freaky Friday double feature.
Freaky Friday double feature. We're gonna do two movies, crazy trailers. We're starting with the Garbage Pail Kids, and then we're gonna do Slotherhouse, which is interesting to say the least. So, you ready to pod, babe?
Ready to cast, babe?
Let's go.
Werewolf bar mitzvah, spooky, scary, boys becoming men, men becoming wolves. Werewolf bar mitzvah, spooky, scary, boys becoming men, men becoming wolves. All right.
So the first movie we're doing is the Garbage Pail Kids, which was... Go ahead, say the description of what this ridiculous movie was about.
So, the IMDb blurb says, Dodger must confront the struggles of life as he is visited by the Garbage Pail Kids and intimidated by some older bullies. I have no idea what that means. I didn't know you could name something other than a dog Dodger. This is apparently a kid.
He might be a dog. Like, in the trailer, it's like he has no family.
Well, that was, yes, the trailer is absolutely...
Bonkers.
Absurd.
Terrifying. Though,
I also feel like that blurb going with,
Right.
that does not accurately depict what the trailer was showing.
It looks like
us,
a
at
horror
least.
movie. But I think it's supposed to be for kids.
It's so creepy. Apparently, this child works in a junk shop.
Yeah. No.
How old is he?
Wait, that's what I want to know. Is there no child labor laws?
What year did it come out?
Well, yeah,
Let's
what was
see.
the year?
And then we should
Wait,
look up
do you think child labor laws just started?
I think that there was a time where there were, during a war or two, where there were like 6-year-old boys throwing paper.
I don't think the Garbage Pail Kids were in the 1940s.
No, but you just said, when did the labor laws come into play? I don't know.
There was only a way we could.
This movie came out in April of '88.
1988.
Great year. Year I was born.
This movie came out before you were born.
It did.
So do you remember the Garbage Pail Kids at all?
No, I had a Cabbage Patch doll.
Yeah, this was the...
And the thing that I remember about my Cabbage Patch doll was that... Well, I don't remember, but I remember seeing like a home movie from when I was a kid. Getting one as a gift. Two as a gift. And one's name was Patrick Bryan. And he was bald.
Sounds like a basketball player.
The other one...
The center for the Los Angeles Lakers. Patrick Bryan.
I have a feeling that he probably would not have played basketball. We actually forgot to mention that we have a special guest on tonight's podcast. We have our littlest one with us right now. Landon, can you say hi? We're not going to have him for much longer. He's going to go to sleep.
Oh, yeah. He needs to go to sleep. So you had a Cabbage Patch. You remember...
I had Patrick Bryan and I had Violet Myrtle.
Myrtle?
How could you not remember that name? Violet Myrtle.
I think I had a Cabbage Patch Kid, too. It was a boy. But they were like...
The biggest craze.
The biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was impossible to find one. Thankfully, Carol worked at Child World at the time. Shout out Carol and shout out the now defunct Child World.
Which became anything, or
No.
They didn't become Toys R Us.
No, it went out of business, and then I believe they put Toys R Us in the same place, and then she just started working at Toys R Us.
Isn't it crazy that, like, there was a time, like, toy stores were really a thing, and when you think about it, like, there was KB Toys.
KB Toys, I think, still is in random malls.
Really? And there's FAO Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
I got lost in there one time.
Did you start playing a piano with some old guy?
No. I got my...
Ting, ting, ting,
my
ting,
mom
ting,
tells
ting,
me this story
ting.
all the time.
That she just laughed at you?
No. They're
They're like, damn it, she found us again.
She was playing with a doll with my sister, and she was like, must have been in the carriage or whatever. Like, she was, in the stroller. She was little. I'm saying carriage because that's what my mother
Was
would
this
say to me.
the
but Danielle was in the
FAO
carriage.
Schwartz in New York City?
No.
Oh, okay.
God, no. No, it was the one I'm going to guess Menlo Mall.
Menlo Park, New Jersey for overseas.
Yes, for the people overseas who don't know Menlo Mall. And so she would tell the story all the time that she had Danielle and she was showing her a doll or whatever, and I must have just walked off and walked out, and my mom came like running and was yelling at me, and there was like, I guess like an older woman who had found me or whatever, and my mom was yelling at me like, don't ever do that again, the exact same thing that I would do. I would have a panic attack and shit my pants, but I'd be crying, and the lady looked at her and said, don't yell at her, it's not her fault.
Your mom must have been mortified.
Oh, beyond. I would be too. Are you kidding me? But yeah, like there were all these places to go and buy these toys, and they just like don't exist anymore. Like
no,
you get
you buy everything online,
right? Or you go to Target,
Walmart,
yeah.
Any of the big box stores.
Yeah, it's weird. But was Garbage Pail Kids an answer to Cabbage Patch Kids, or they were supposed to be like the
Well, they started. It was just trading cards, like, and they were like, I don't know the order.
Trading cards, and then they based a movie around them.
Yeah.
Who thought that was a good idea?
I don't know. The insane writer and.
I know we've talked about this before. You and I, we don't talk about the like ratings. So I was saying, should we say like, a movie gets however many stars out of 10 stars on IMDb, and Garbage Pail Kids movie gets 2.7 stars out of 10, which is pretty bad.
That almost makes me like want to watch it more.
Well, yeah, but then you go to the featured reviews. You have to, or I do, and it's 1 star.
Wait, what did Siskel and Ebert give?
Give me back my lost hour and a half. This movie is terrible.
Is that Mel Gibson? Give me back my son!
1 star, absolutely awful.
Wait, scroll down a little bit. I want to see.
Absolutely awful. How did this get made?
How much money did it make?
Holy heck. But Holy Heck gave it 4 stars. Okay, let's see.
The funny thing is that it's so jarring to see people in costumes.
The budget was estimated for $1 million.
Yeah.
And opening weekend, it made $661,000.
I thought you were going to say $661.
No.
And then what was the total?
$1.5 million, it looks like.
Well, it made its money back at least. It's not like there were any stars in the movie.
They made an official Garbage Pail Kids cookbook, which will feature 35
which is trash.
Gross out recipes. The thing was, I don't even know how I came about this trailer, but I was blown away by how terrifying these masks.
The costumes are absolutely terrifying.
They are the thing of nightmares. I would not let any of our kids look at it now.
No.
I know they'd wind up in our bed more often than they already do, which is impossible because they're in it every night.
Well, the characters are absolute nightmare fuel. Like, when you think of your nightmares and how bad they can be sometimes, you think of the Garbage Pail Kids coming to your bedside to be like, hey, wanna play?
I was just very confused by the whole narration of the trailer. And so this is a child. I'm going to guess maybe he's around 12 years old. That's my guess.
That works in like...
works at a junk shop.
Junk shop? What is a junk shop?
It said antiques on the thing, but they were like, it's worse than antiques.
This guy's got trash, and he seems to be some sort of magician.
But they called him Captain.
This is weird.
And then they said...
I don't know.
The kid doesn't have any friends or family? Yeah. Until some creepy kids come out of a garbage pail. I don't get it. Like,
and
I don't know why.
He's being bullied by like 20-year-old guys. And the girl that he seems to be, she might be a stripper. I don't know. Her name's Tangerine. Is that her stage name? Like, coming to the stage. Put your hands together for Tangerine. Like, highway to the danger zone.
That is not in this movie. They have, like, they said a couple of the Garbage Pail
Oh,
Kids
no, I took them
names?
down.
Oh,
I
did you
wrote
all?
them down.
Well, because Windy Winston made a impact on me as he was farting
Yeah,
on a
Windy Winston.
bartender, I think. Why were these Garbage Pail Kids in a bar?
Why do they exist? So, it looks like
They come out of ooze.
there's some green ooze, which obviously the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles also came from. So,
They are
tie-in?
mutated.
I don't know, maybe. But this captain guy, who seems to be the king of this pedophilia ring, maybe. He's like,
That he
welcome.
runs at his
He's
junk
like,
shop.
let me introduce you to the Garbage Pail Kids. Like, he knows who they are,
Yeah.
which is weird. So, there's Greaser Greg.
Obviously.
My guy.
There you are, Greasy.
Valerie Vomit, who's just puking out stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Alligator, which is an alligator
so obvious.
face.
It's just a little alligator.
Foul Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Nat Nerd. Windy Winston, you already mentioned. And then Messy Tessie, who has an unlimited supply of popcorn, it looks like, because she sneezes. And her bag of popcorn literally fills up a movie theater.
As it would.
One bag. Was it extra kernels popping as it was coming out of her nose?
So, you know how on IMDb they have we go over the blurb, you know?
Right.
Well, other people can also write their own
Ooh.
blurb to tell you what it's about. So,
Let me hear
somebody
these blurbs.
named Volcar Boehm wrote...
Wait, first, was he wearing a shirt that said cat versus dogs? Who would you choose?
I don't know if that sounds like a fake name. It could be a female. I have no idea. But they wrote, 7 disgusting kids, but nevertheless of interesting personality, are being made of the green mud coming out of garbage can. Once alive, their master gives them rules to obey, although they think that life is funnier without following stupid regulations like no television or no candy. Naturally, this will cause some conflict.
That sounds like it was written by, like, a 9-year-old kid who just got punished by his parents.
Yeah.
He's like, no TV, no candy. What stupid rules are these?
Naturally, this will cause conflict.
I have so many questions about. First of all, like, why?
I don't know. They thought they were going to capitalize on something, obviously.
I guess.
But
But also, the most popular of all of the Garbage Pail Kids, card-wise, was Adam Bomb. There's no Adam Bomb.
no.
And then there was, like, a bunch of, like, I think it was, like, Devin Decay or... The ones that they have in this movie were not the most popular ones. I don't know if they just made them up for this movie. But I don't remember Greaser Greg. I remember Grillin' Greg, who had the cuts all over his hands, because I had that one.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a bunch of them. My mom actually is still on a quest to find them, because some of them are worth some money now. But she might have thrown them out, unfortunately.
If you go through the pictures on IMDb, like the stills from this movie,
Oh my god.
it is terrifying. One of them is the kid, the main kid in the movie.
Who is... Go ahead.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah.
Who is Sean Astin's younger brother.
That's Rudy's brother?
Rudy's brother.
He's still acting now, though. I've seen it. He was in Homeland recently. Like, he looks exactly the same, just 30 years older.
Yeah, well, there's a still of him in what looks like a bathtub. And the Garbage Pail Kids are surrounding him. He looks naked. I mean, you can only see his shoulders, but
Oh,
I'm
my
assuming
dear
if he's in
Lord.
a bathtub that he's in the nude.
And is
Unless
that a
he's
doll,
taking-
or is that a mini Garbage Pail Kid?
I don't know, unless he's taking a bath in the junk shop, as one would if you work in one, I guess.
That was the other thing that was not made clear. So they said he has no family. Where does he go when he leaves the junk shop?
I don't know.
Does he live at an orphanage? Is he homeless? Does he live in a garbage can?
I have no idea. If he lived in a garbage can, wouldn't he be a Garbage Pail Kid?
That's what I'm getting at. I think he is a garbage...
Is that why they get along so well?
Do you think he is has multiple personalities and the Garbage Pail Kids aren't real?
That's like the Apple TV version of that movie.
We've been watching a lot of things.
A
lately
lot
where
of things.
People have multiple personalities. So
The other, my favorite thing I think about the trailer is the end, the tagline, the bow on the whole movie.
What was it?
When the narrator goes, "They may not be pretty, but boy, do they make great friends." Like, what? Like, you were supposed to be like, oh, that's it. Okay.
All right. So, is this a kid's movie? Is it a horror movie? Is it a revenge? I'm so confused on what's the rating on it.
Okay, let's see what the rating is. The rating is PG, so it is for kids.
Lord.
And the genre is adventure, comedy, family, fantasy, and musical. I don't know about that. Can you imagine those Garbage Pail Kids just start singing?
Oh my God. If it was a musical, that would make it
even creepier.
Oh my God. So, it's 1988. Your parents are like confused because there's no internet back then.
Right. They had to look it up in a newspaper.
Maybe they did or didn't see the trailer and they're like, oh, let's take the kids, you know? They love those cards, you know.
But you'd know what the cards look like.
But you're like thinking...
Well, I guess your parents didn't really pay as much attention
Little
to
Missy loves the Cabbage Patch Kids. They gotta be similar. You walk into this movie...
Missy.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you staying for the whole thing? Because you already paid for it? Movies were much cheaper back then. Like, how many kids are crying in the theater? Terrified? How many kids did not sleep for weeks after seeing these creatures?
I don't know.
It's like...
It doesn't seem great. Doesn't seem like a great...
No.
Thing to take your kid to.
At the same time, it's fantastic.
I would like to actually watch it just for the simple fact of to see...
So what I'm hearing from you...
What are they thinking?
Is you're hitching your trailer to this movie.
I am. Yeah.
We gotta watch it, right?
We have to see it. But we have to make sure that there was no way that our child could see it.
It's got to be late at night. Or let me ask you this question before we're done with this half of the Freaky Friday double feature. Do you remember any other movie that was so awfully bad you just had to watch it? Like,
that I knew it was going to be awfully bad?
You're like, this is going to be terrible, but I need to see it.
Oh, I feel that way about a lot of movies. Probably the one that sticks out in my head the most is From Justin to Kelly with Justin Guarini and Kelly Clarkson, the winner and runner-up of the first season of American Idol. I'm saying that like nobody knows who Kelly Clarkson is. I was really talking about the other guy.
Right.
And they made a musical for them.
That sounds terrible.
It was horrible. Me and my sister loved it.
I bet you did. You guys love terrible movies.
Oh.
Grease 2.
Excuse me.
Electric Boogaloo.
So many people are going to go against you for the fact that you even uttered Grease, okay? If you want to say Grease 2, fine. That is your prerogative. I disagree with you. Obviously, you haven't listened to the soundtrack enough because Michelle Pfeiffer is...
She belts it out.
Oof. She needs a cool rider. And you know what? Every single one of our kids likes the soundtrack to Grease 2.
They're not old enough yet to even know what they like.
Says who?
Well, I'll tell you what. The movies that come to mind when I think about these, and they were smashes. Mega Shark, and then Mega Shark versus Giant Squid with Deborah Gibson. She didn't want to be called Debbie anymore. She was in them. And Sharknado. Mm-hmm. They were made to be terrible, but...
And people loved it.
Oh my God. People went nuts for those movies. They were terrible. But
of course they were.
You had to watch them, because Mega Shark I just remember in that trailer, he just, like, eats the Golden Gate Bridge. It's like he jumps out of the water and he eats the Golden Gate. And you're like, huh.
Why would Mega Shark be in the San Francisco Bay?
He's just around. Mega Shark can go anywhere.
Right? Is it the Bay?
He ate a helicopter.
Oh, of course.
He jumped out of the water and ate a helicopter. Me and my friend Chris, we were obsessed with those movies. We used to watch them like constantly. I would go over his
You're
house.
a big Shark Week guy?
Yeah, yes and no. Like, some of the shows are cheesy. Some of them are cool. I like when they would go down in the tank and the shark would try to get in the cage. Those were, yeah. The shark would be hitting the cage so hard and, like, denting the poles. And the guy's like, see? You really... But the guy had already put out, like, blood. Because they needed to attract sharks, or you don't have a show.
Come and get me.
Yeah, but if you don't have a show, if no sharks come.
Why would you want to do that?
I don't know. I would not want to do that.
I think one of the things that I love most about you, and that I feel like we're on a great same page, is like, we have no interest to do stupid fucking shit like that. Like, none.
I don't even like going in high buildings. Like,
I don't even like leaving this house.
This couch is fine with me.
We're good.
We'll just watch some more trailers.
We're good. We're good for that. Fucking people getting in cages for sharks to come at them.
Yeah.
How ridiculous. How stupid.
That's just dumb. Anything else you want to say about this terrifying movie? Did we hit all the aspects of the Garbage Pail universe?
I think we hit all the aspects we could hit on this one.
All right, perfect. So we're both hitching our trailer. We're gonna watch this movie sometime late at night.
I think we have
without
to.
the kids around. All right. So coming up now, we're gonna talk about Slotherhouse, which is a movie about a killer sloth. So Slotherhouse is coming out at the end of the month. What's our blurb say here?
So IMDb blurb says, Emily Young, a senior, wants to be elected as her sorority's president. She adopts a cute sloth, thinking it can become the new mascot and help her win, until a string of fatalities implicate the sloth as the main suspect in the murders. Now, I don't get that from this trailer.
No. I don't think there's any doubt who the killer is.
Right, and it's obvious she's in a sorority.
Right, so senior in college, not... It just says a senior.
Yeah, you thought you like an elderly person that went to college? What do you mean?
She wants to be the most popular person in the old age home.
Yeah. I just also want to say right from jump, I hate horror, the whole entire genre. It's lost on me.
This is a slasher film, it looks
right.
like. More.
And it's a joke, obviously.
Yeah.
There is jest to it. You could tell.
I feel like it's almost... I know we didn't do it for Garbage Pail Kid, but my elevator pitch would be Scream meets Zootopia, right? That's the one that had the sloth in it.
Yeah. But wouldn't it be like... What's the other one? Not another, like
Not another teen movie. But Scream...
Or Scary Movie. It's
Scary Movie.
But no, but it didn't seem that silly.
No, it wasn't like they were, like, making jokes about... Like, Scary Movie was making jokes about all those horror movies at the time. Scream was a joke, but they made it campy. Mm-hmm. But it didn't take itself too seriously.
Right.
It was more of like a homage to all other former, like murder, like
the
Jason.
Slasher.
Yeah, Friday the 13th.
Stuff does not.
Friday the 13th, Jason, same thing. Halloween.
That stuff does not do it for me. I don't understand. Like, I love a thriller. Give me like a thriller, a psychological thriller. I'm all into that.
A psycho guy.
I need there to be something there.
You're not into the supernatural.
God, no.
So, I was going to say this because the trailer, especially the way the sloth is like creepily smiling sometimes, it looks like.
That's what sloths look like. That's the
Do
point.
they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know what sloths look like.
Yeah.
But it was giving me like Chucky vibes.
Mm-hmm.
In Chucky, he was brought together by like some sort of brought to life by some sort of like witchcraft. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if...
I never saw those movies.
No,
I never will.
I figured you did it. But I'm wondering if that's where they're going to go, if that's how he became killer
Well, this is
sloth.
the other thing. So the sloth, she thinks it's cute, and so she decides to, like, adopt it from this, like, trucker, and she walks into a creepy, like, dark house to adopt the sloth, is what it seems like. It's like, okay, where is this animal's papers? Why isn't it in a cage?
Yeah.
Why is this, like, shouldn't you be going to some sort of, like, animal shelter
Day
to
one
get
on
this
campus,
thing? It is, like, ridiculous.
They would be like, we don't really allow sloths here.
They don't allow you to have, like, a dog or a cat half the time, and it's like...
Not
now
half the time, never. I unless it's like emotional
Service.
support or whatever. But that beginning where you go into the creepy house, whatever, that I think that's ripped off from Gremlins. Because he gets the cute gizmo at like in Chinatown at some weird creepy house, and they have the rules. You don't feed them after midnight. You
right,
don't
no
let
water.
water and stuff. And then that's how that goes wrong. But I feel like that's kind of like the trope of where you get the killer animal from. It's like some shady house, maybe some what do you call it? Like backdoor dealings or whatever. It's like, you guys got pythons here? Do you have mega sharks? You know what I mean?
No, I'm never asking somebody for a mega shark or a python.
Yeah, you're not big into reptiles either.
No, absolutely not.
So this is actually a hot topic nowadays.
Sloths?
Animals' revenge. Do you remember a couple months ago we saw on the news about those orcas that were doing a coordinated effort to take boats down?
No, I don't.
We thought it was a joke. We're at your mom's house, and it was actually a thing where some fishermen had killed one of the orcas, and then this one orca was getting revenge and was teaching other orcas how to get revenge on how to take down boats. In this one part, I think it was it might have been near Portugal or off the coast of Africa or something like that. But it was like,
for the life of me, I could not remember that.
It was a real thing. And, like, there's been more and more shark attacks lately.
Animals, when you say animals getting revenge, all I can think of is that lady that had the monkey that she made, like, take baths with her and drink red wine, and then the monkey, like, flipped out and ripped her face off and killed her.
I mean, that's what happens when you're with wild animals. There's a show on Netflix.
I don't think you should try to wine and dine your, like, living chimp boyfriend.
Well, this on Netflix where it was like this guy, it was a documentary where this guy is, he's living with these bears, and he's like, I don't know, save the bears, whatever, and guess what happens at the end of the documentary? He gets eaten by a bear.
How did they get the footage?
There was another guy there, like, filming him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm out.
Yeah. Once a bear starts eating you,
Have you seen the bears in the China Zoo?
No.
Oh, they're, like, standing up and, like, waving, and China, the zoo in China is, like, everyone's saying that they're people dressed in bear costumes, and they're like, no, we swear it's not. Everyone's like, yeah, right, China, nice try. And it does. If you see it, it looks like it. It looks like, first of all, apparently bears have no ass. Like, this thing has no ass.
Why are you checking out the bears?
I'm just saying, that's what everyone's talking about. Is like, and the bear is just standing so creepily, like a human. It's so weird. You have to go look at it.
I have to take a look at it. It was on YouTube?
I'm sure it's somewhere. I think I saw it on Instagram.
Well, the other thing with sharks, there was I think it was a lady the other day, was just standing in the water, like up to her waist off Long Island. Mm-hmm. And a shark just came by and bit her legs. And she was like bleeding out. Luckily they got her out of there, but it took like a 4-inch chunk just straight out of her leg. Oof. It was like a baby shark. It's like, what is going on? Why is anybody going in the ocean anymore?
Oh, I do like the ocean.
There's just monsters out there. Sharks are monsters. Sharks, I heard this the other day, have been around longer than trees. Before there were trees on this planet, there were sharks.
How do we know that?
Because they can date. I don't know. How do they know how long anything's been around? How do they know when the dinosaurs were here? Like, science. I don't know.
This podcast brought to you by science. We don't know.
That's perfect. Who knows science? I don't think scientists even know science. They're always changing their mind and whatnot.
Well, isn't that to say that information is ever changing and we're, you know, learning new things all the time? And
who's wrong more, scientists or the weatherman? I don't know.
I don't know either. Aren't weathermen supposed to be some sort of scientists, though?
Huh.
Weather scientists? What do they call them?
They're meteorologists.
Oh my god.
Like, who?
I just said weather.
Who knows
scientists.
what a barometric pressure is? Like, what does that do? I remember on the news it always was like, wet, like temperature, wind, barometric pressure. Like, what am I supposed to know that for? It'd be like 32.65.
I don't know. Does that have to do with, like...
I don't know.
Sailing?
I feel like they just put it on the news so they look smart. Like, they're like, nobody knows what this number means, so we're just going to throw it out there so it looks...
Somebody's gonna
So we
know.
look smart, even though we told you it wasn't going to rain, and now it's raining. You know how I check the weather?
By your weather app.
I look out the fucking window.
You check your weather app
For
constantly.
future weather, which is always wrong.
So then why do you keep checking it?
I don't know.
And you argue with me over which weather app is supposed to be the better one.
The Weather Channel, you would think, would be the dominant weather app. It's a whole channel. They got 20 years in business, at least.
I heard they've been around since before trees.
Sharks and weather in the Weather
app.
Channel.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. So bringing it back to the trailer, one of the tropes that you always see in these types of movies, these like campy slasher horror movies, it's like it's got to be a good-looking girl in a shower, always. But apparently, based on the trailer, the sloth murders her with a loofah. It looks like he's about to shove down her throat.
I don't know.
Well,
according to the tagline of the
What's the
movie
tagline?
is "Don't rush, die slow."
all right.
So much wordplay there. I love it.
Let me ask you this: there's 2 rooms.
Mm-hmm.
There's one exit all the way down.
Oh God!
You got to
I don't
get
like
through
these
one of
hypotheticals.
the 2 rooms. There's exits at the end of both rooms. You got to get through. What room are you going in? The one with Killer Sloth or the one with Chucky? Neither one of them are very fast.
The sloth for sure.
You think you could get away from the Killer Sloth rather than Chucky? Chucky had little legs. He ran like our middle son, Chuchi. I got little legs.
Shit, Chucky, I think would just give me, I don't know, more nightmares. No thanks.
It's not about nightmares. It's about survival.
Yeah, so when
Sloth
I
can climb.
survive, I will have nightmares about Chucky. When I survive the sloth, I'm just going to be like, okay.
I think the sloth might be the most ridiculous looking killer in...
Well, I think that's their point.
His hair looks like Cat Williams' hair.
I think it might be a girl sloth, because I think they call her Alpha.
Her hair. The sloth's hair.
Could you give accurate,
Pronouns.
yeah, for that sloth? She, her?
But the hair, like, goes up on the sides. Like, is that what a sloth looks like?
I think
it was like
it's
it had a
pretty
perm.
accurate.
The sloth had a perm.
I don't think so. I don't think you know what a perm is, hon.
Probably not.
No. I think her hair was slicked back. I don't know. It was a very obvious animatronic sloth. They weren't trying, I feel like, to get a real feel like they were using real sloths. They didn't want PETA to get mad. It was very obviously fake. It was like they might have taken that from the Rainforest Cafe. I don't know. Do you remember being excited to go to the rainforest? Did you ever go?
No, not well when I was older. So it wasn't, and it was usually in Atlantic City. So
why, of all places to go?
I don't know. I only went there maybe twice, but
I thought it was cool they'd do like the thunderstorm inside.
The one time was for somebody's birthday because they brought out the volcano cake.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you know where else I went? I went to the one in Disney, too. There's one in Animal Kingdom.
That is the Rainforest Cafe?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm like 72% sure that that's right.
Oh, that means it's wrong.
So, speaking of wrong, can you believe in the trailer that in the movie, the guy actually says the name of the movie? Do you love that or you hate that? He's like, this is a Slotherhouse. That's how you know it's a joke. Right?
I usually love that, actually. I don't know that I love it here, but I don't know. I just don't know about this.
You were like, when they were like, come on, guys, this is Grease 2. Do they say?
I don't know why you keep harping on Grease 2, but
right.
you
When
should
Kevin
stop.
Bacon's like, we gotta be looser
Excuse
with our
me.
feet.
Oh, I was going to
This
say.
is footloose.
I was going to say, first of all, Kevin
We gotta
Bacon
be footloose.
is not in Grease 2. How dare you? No, they don't say that in Footloose. Come on. When would he say that?
When he's telling them that they have to dance. They gotta.
Yeah, that's when he goes,
They gotta loosen up their
"Let's
feet.
dance!" And then, bum, bum,
We gotta keep our
bum.
foot loose. That's what he says. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
he absolutely does not.
What other movies do they say the title of the movie that you love?
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
This is dirty dancing. You guys are just regular dancing. We're dirty
Nobody,
dancing.
I don't think they say it. The title.
Top Gun, they definitely do.
Yeah, this is Top Gun. They say that.
I'm Batman.
Obviously. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
So,
Probably every Hallmark movie.
Probably every Hallmark movie, Christmas movie. So, some other movies that this trailer kind of reminded me of, there used to be, back at like, probably mid-'80s, there was a bunch of these like cheesy horror movies. There were killer clowns from outer space that just came down and they were murderous clowns. But it was like a ridiculous movie. Swamp Thing. The Toxic Avenger. Toxic Avenger had like 6 different movies. Mm-hmm. And I believe it's the 6th one. Because his whole thing was he had to defeat Satan. And I think he defeated him. I'm almost positive that the way he defeated Satan was by pissing all over him.
Oh my god.
Because he had toxic pee. Because he was the Toxic Avenger. This is...
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like, what else are you going to do?
But I feel like they're trying to bring it back to that. Because we haven't had this type of movie in a while. Like, there hasn't been like a...
Leprechaun?
That was a while ago, though. That was back early 90s. But yeah, exactly. I'm the Leprechaun. There was like 4 of those,
please
too.
don't do an accent.
There was Leprechaun in the Hood with Snoop Dogg was in it. Yeah, I don't...
Wasn't Jennifer Aniston?
She was in the first one, I think. Yeah, you're right. I saw that in the movie theater. It was quite the experience. Back when people used to go to the movies. Any other ones you can think of? I'm trying to think.
No.
There hasn't been one in a while, though.
Yeah, again, not my genre.
I mean, I guess they just made a new Scream recently. they brought the whole cast back. So I think Courtney Cox was in it. I don't know if her ex-husband there was in it though.
That's your boy.
The former WCW champion, David Arquette. He was in a movie called Eight-Legged Freaks, and it was giant spiders. It was another one that was like, I guess you would categorize these as like, they would be horror comedies, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike, so, because even Friday the 13th, after like the 6th one, kind of got like that. I remember the 8th one was Jason Takes Manhattan, and some guy tries to fight him, like in boxing, and Jason punches him in the face and his head pops off and goes into a dumpster, and it was probably one of the funniest things I ever seen when I was a teenager. I was like, this is ridiculous. But I guess the Freddy movies after a while got like that, where he was trying to be funny or whatnot. So, any other things that jumped out at you, no pun intended, about the trailer? Other than giant sloths?
I laugh, like, I had to laugh at the part where, like, the sloth's head was in, like, a bunch of...
animals like E.T.
Yeah, like, it was all these, like, stuffed animals. And then they, like... The girl pulls up her shirt where it's, like, all, like, clawed through. I guess I do kind of want to know, like, where is this going? Like, how far can you take this?
Let me ask you this. Do you think in the end...
They would leave room for a sequel?
Definitely. It would be like... But that it's not actually the sloth that's killing people. It's somebody else.
I don't know. I think that would be terrible, but...
Yeah, no, you gotta have it as the killer sloth, because then you can have a sequel, because it could be his family like coming for revenge.
And they pop the sloth's head off.
And it's Cat Williams.
There you go. And he's like, I would have gotten away with it too. For you meddling kids.
You meddling sororities, girls. If this was 80s or early 90s, at least 4 of those girls would be topless at some point.
Oh, Carmen Electra would be in it.
Yeah.
Who else? Denise Richards.
Oh, hell yeah.
The queens of the
Scream Queens.
Corny shit that came out then.
That was the one thing that was great about Scream, though. They always had the one celebrity at the beginning. Like, the first one was Drew Barrymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carmen Electra, I think, was in the second one.
Was she actually in the movie, or was
No, it was the same thing as, like...
Or was it Scary Movie that she
Might
was
have
in?
been Scary
She was
Movie.
in Scary Movie, yeah. Like, running across the lawn and all
Right,
the clothes are coming out, yeah.
That's the same thing they did with Drew Barrymore, kind of.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore, she was, like, in the house, and she was the first person to get murdered.
Yeah, but she wasn't running with her clothes falling
No.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, they embellished to make it funny, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing about that is that Drew Barrymore, I'm pretty sure I remember hearing this on that Rewatchables podcast that I listened to on The Ringer, that Drew Barrymore wanted to be in the movie, wanted to be the Courtney Cox part.
Mm.
But she was in a different movie, so they just put her in that one so they could do it in one day. Because she only had the one day available to film.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, Slotherhouse.
Let me ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you hitching your trailer to Slotherhouse?
Hell yeah. This is the I love ridiculous movies. Like, they make me laugh.
Yeah.
Like, this is the type of movie that I will crack up the whole time because it's stupid. I like stupid comedy. And I also like horror films. I mean, I don't get to watch them as much anymore.
That's not true. You sat and watched that whole Insidious from beginning
Yeah, but I had to wait. Yeah, but I watched it in segments because I had to wait for you to fall asleep so you weren't terrified, and then I'd watch like half hour at a time because I would fall asleep, and then I eventually got through pretty much all of them.
Mm-hmm. Well,
No, it
you still
wasn't.
watched it on your own time.
Yeah, no, they were fantastic. So yes, I will be hitching my trailer to Slotherhouse. How about you?
I'm a no on this one, dog.
What?
I will not be hitching my
Oh,
trailer.
you're gonna miss out.
to
I'm telling you
Slotherhouse.
right now, you're missing out.
I'm sure, but
I'm gonna
not for me, dog.
I'm gonna wake you up in the morning. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, the sloth. He was Cat Williams the whole time.
Okay, and then I will watch it when I find out that Cat Williams starred as the sloth. Then I will watch it.
All right. Well, thank you once again for joining us on Hitching the Trailer. Also want to say thank you to everyone who reached out and gave us some good feedback. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we're Hitching the Trailer, all one word. On Twitter, we're Hitchin414. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening and stay hitchin'.